peace and love, and welcome to Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach. I want to acknowledge that it is Women's History Month and coming off the heels of International Women's Day. So I just want to celebrate all of the women in the world. You know my wonderful statue back here because there's always a black woman behind me. So that female energy is something that I respect and honor. So happy Women's Month, Women's History Month to everyone out there. I encourage each and every one of you to go on our website, blackdiamondworldwide.org. Also visit our Facebook and Instagram pages to see all of the wonderful women that we have honored and are going to honor throughout the month of March. So again, to everyone out there and to all of my women, big up, big up, big up, as they say in the West Indies. Congratulations to you and happy Women's History Month. So today we are continuing our talk on the 7 last words of Jesus. And as it is the second Sunday in Lent, we're going to look at the second word that Jesus spoke on the cross, which was, today you will be with me in paradise. Today, you will be with me in paradise. So we each have to know that through these words, we each find our own paradise within our minds, feel it in our bodies, and live it in our world. So would you put your fists in the air and affirm with me, living life is like living in my own beautiful paradise. One more time, even louder, living life is like living in my own beautiful paradise. Because wherever you go, whatever you do, you can find that peace within, that serenity within, and eventually that paradise, that consciousness of paradise, that consciousness of goodness within you. Let's look at the story of how Jesus came to talk about this. While on the cross, Jesus found himself between two men who were thieves and sinners in this world. One man taunted Jesus and said, if you are really this great miracle worker who is supposed to be the Son of Man, command that we be free. Save yourself and us. But the thief on the other side of Jesus responded to him and said, we are getting what we deserve. This man has done nothing wrong. Then he said to Jesus, remember me when you enter into the kingdom of heaven. To this Jesus replied, I make this promise to you. Today, you will be with me in paradise. So what Jesus was showing here was humility. You know, we have to remember that in our world, no one is higher than us, lower than us. We are not more spiritual than another. Each of us gets to our spirituality in a different way. Each of us gets to the facts of life in a spiritual way, but we should never be uppity. You know that word? We should never feel that we are too good, too holy, too sanctified, too rich, or too poor. We must know that in life, everything is equalized. One thing I remember a saying that people say is that you never see a U-Haul following a hearse, right? With all the things that we can accumulate in life, with all the possessions that we can have, we cannot take it with us, right? Death is the ultimate equalizer. So today, let all things be equalized. Let us remember that we are all made of the same stuff. We are all human beings. Now, in looking at the seeming evil of the world, when we look at kidnappings and trafficking, the destruction of nature, and, they talk about the eco-friendly ways that we can start to adapt that will help save the environment. When we look at the war that is going on in Europe right now, and we look at all the bad things in the world, it can be difficult to imagine joyful living at all times. You know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was saying he wants to be a father. And with all the things going on in the world, he is so nervous to be a father because he doesn't want to bring his child into the world. People are now talking about the end of days. With everything that's happening, it's the end of days. It's the end of time. Well, here's what I think about that. It might be the end of days. I don't know. But what I do know is that I am alive right now. What I want you to know is that you are alive right now. You have a body that's breathing. You have eyes that can see for a lot of us, ears that can hear, a mouth that can speak, a body that is mobile and moving. So therefore, it is not the end of days for us right now. We still have more life to live. The question is your goal to live in joy, finding the joy of life, or is your goal to live in doubt of the love of humanity? We must know that whatever is going on, however we see the world, there is still love in us. We have to make the decision in our little corner of the world to say that, you know what? Yes, I see love in the world. I see love in my world. I always remember this popular saying, I ask God why he allows poverty and famine and injustice in the world when he can do something about it. And the joke is that God asks me the same question. What are we doing to bring love into the world? Not only into our personal world, but globally. Are we protesting enough? Are we voting enough? You know, back in the day, you didn't know who these people were, but now we can Google all of our representatives. We can Google the people that are running for our vote. We can see their humanity if it aligns with ours, and we can vote, we can protest. We have to be the voice in this world, the voice for the people who do not have a voice. And as we work globally, it all comes back to what we do personally in our mind. And that means looking at our doubt, looking at the regret we have in our lives, the shame that we built up in our lives. If we've done wrong, if we caused wrong or caused harm to someone else, the things that we have done that cannot be undone. Sometimes we make a mistake or we do things on purpose and they hurt the other person. And those things sometimes cannot be undone. But friends, I want you to know that today there is redemption. There is redemption of mind, soul, and body. Oxford defines redemption as the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. Friends, today you might have sinned. You might have brought evil into the world. You might have thought error thoughts, committed error acts in the world that brings an energy of negativity, negation, wrong, doubt, fear, lack in your life. But today is your redemption day. Today you can heal the world. You can bring world health. You can bring world love. And that begins with loving yourself, flaws and all. It's all about the self-love. It is in you. So every day and in every way, you must continue to affirm, I love myself. So let's affirm that together. Fists in the air, top of your lungs. Self-love lives in me. And I love myself. Hug yourself. Just wrap your arms around yourself and just say, I love myself. I love myself. Always turn within to yourself. Carrying a love of self everywhere is paradise. That's where you find paradise. Just like how Jesus was between the sinners that he was between, he still realized this consciousness of paradise. You must know that wherever you go, the little devils that you encounter in the world, the evil people that want to bring you harm, you can still be in paradise in consciousness. You can still live in paradise with these people. Know that anywhere, in any condition, you are a survivor. You are finding yourself in paradise. When I think about the show Survivor, there's another show that my best friend loves to look at. It's called Naked and Afraid, where they just drop you in the middle of nowhere and you got to figure it out for, I think it's like 90 days, 60 days. Who knows? That's something I know I'm not doing. I'm not volunteering. And there's no prize after it. I don't get it. But people find their paradise there. People find their love there. Just know that yes, you can find your paradise everywhere you go. You can make and attract good friends. And you know, it's more difficult to make friends when you're older. A lot of people that I am friends with are people that I went to school with or we ended up working together. But it's difficult for people to just like go out into the world in different social settings and just introduce themselves to people. You have to remember that you have the God power within you. You are the God power, and so is everyone else. And as you extend that love truly, purely, you will attract friends into your life. You will draw good and faithful friends in your life, but you have to be a friend. You have to be a good person. You have to be the example of what good friendship is. I always say friendship is a responsibility. You have to be a friend in order to keep a friend. And if your friend betrays you and you don't see that being reciprocated, that does not mean that your love has to be diminished, that your sense of friendship has to be diminished. It should be even stronger. You should know that, yes, with the strong love within you, you can choose not to do wrong, but to do good. You know, they have the saying now, some people woke up and chose violence. Did you wake up and choose violence today? Or did you wake up and choose to be a loving person? A person that your friends can be proud of? A person that attracts more and more friends? Just know today, friends, that you have the strength within you. It is within your very being. It is within your very life to attract and choose love each and every time. Affirm with me, fist in the air, top of your lungs. I have strength to choose love every time. I have strength to choose love every time. How wonderful is that affirmation? No longer are we choosing violence, we are choosing love. We are choosing to love all of mankind. But first, that's self-love. We are choosing to love every nucleus of every cell of our body. We are choosing to love every organ action of our body. We are choosing to love our thoughts. We are choosing to love our living situations. We are choosing to love our friends, our wives and husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, people that we're dating. We're choosing to love our best friends and our work associates. We're choosing to love our jobs. We're choosing to love this world. So today, know that everything that you are doing, you can make a choice and you can make a new choice. If the choice that you have, if the life that you're living is not bringing you the joy that you desire, not bringing you that sense of paradise, that sense of calm and beauty that we should all be living in all points of our life. I think about this term that's being used today, cancel culture. And cancel culture to me is probably named wrong. It should be consequence culture. Because if people don't agree with whoever, and it's a lot of rich people, singers and things like that, right? Then it means that if people don't agree with how you're living your life, the decisions that you've made in your life, they do not have to spend their hard-earned money to support you. I always think, listen, people work hard. And if they work hard, they should have a choice as to who they're going to spend their money on, who they're going to support, right? Who they're going to really give their money to. And if we're looking at people and we're not happy with the decisions that they made in their lives, they're not doing the right things in the world, we have a choice to say, okay, cancel culture. That's not something that we want in our lives. But we must also do this with the negative thoughts that come into our world. The thoughts that say you are not good enough. The thoughts that say you will never live in paradise because your world is a slum, right? Your world will never be the best because of your upbringing, because of your education, because of the way you look, because of your size, because of the people that are in your world. Today, as you know that you are God, you will always live in paradise. You can always have that cancel culture for the negative thoughts and emotions that come to suppress your joy in the world. You can do it for yourself. And I love that the times are changing, that we're realizing that we have to come first into the spiritual world, into ourselves, into the self-love before we can fix anything in the outside world. As we look at the changing times, I look at gender norms that are changing. People once believed that women do this, men do this, women dress like this, men dress like that. There was a time where women could not wear pants. Now we're seeing women wearing pants. Now it's a thing about men wearing dresses. First of all, who cares? If that's not for you, it's not for you. Let people live how they want to live. Everyone has the right to be who they are. And I'm loving that we're coming into a new generation now where people are realizing that we don't have to settle for gender norms. We don't have to settle for family obligations, right? And rituals. If they do not serve you, you can honor your family in other ways. But if they're not serving you here, the foods you eat, the different rituals that we do, you can choose something else. If you don't want to get married before you're 30 and your family is forcing you to do so or forcing you to marry into this family or that family, we are coming to a point in life where we're choosing not to do those things, the changing times of life. There's, when I think about abuse and like sexual abuse, especially when we look at this Me Too movement that we've been having the last few years, I love that. When it first started, I remember an older lady who I definitely respect and love, but she was from the times where, they're still working with this misogynistic patriarchy that we're trying to dismantle now. And she came up to me just as serious as ever, and she said, Jason, I don't understand this whole Me Too movement, Back in the day when I was working, back in the, 40s, 50s, 60s, the boss and the men would come in, they would cop a few feels, which means they would squeeze your breasts and squeeze your butt, and everyone just went on with their day. What's the big deal? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, what about consent? What about consent? You have to ask someone before you touch them, before you kiss them, and definitely before you touch their private parts. But there are some people that feel that they own your body. There are some men really that feel that they own women. They can touch women's bodies whenever. They can objectify women whenever they want to. And I'm glad to see that we're coming away from that. And it's men and women too, right? We all have the right to our body. My body is mine. Your body is yours. Take back the consciousness. Take back the mind that says that this is not God's body and people can do whatever they want to it. People can do whatever they feel that they want to it. This is your body. This is God's body. And this body, holding this consciousness, holding this mind, holding the cells and the organs, it is your spiritual home. Find the paradise in that body, in this body. Find the home in this body. And as you do, you know that you are finding a great serenity within, a great peace within your life. Affirm with me, there is a great peace within me. There is a great peace within me. I find a home there. Find your home within yourself. Find your paradise within your mind, within your soul, within your spirit. The last point I want to leave with you today is taken from our Keep It True Lent. And today's Keep It True Lent word is on imagination. That is my favorite topic of all time, imagination. Because imagination is the most important topic that we can talk about in our life. The Keep It True Lent reminds us that imagination is that point that images and forms, right? Because everything starts in our mind. Everything, this is a quote from our Keep It True Lent reading, everything that is manifest was first a mental picture and was brought into expression by this forming power. With my imagination, I lay hold of perfect ideas and clothe them with substance. Everything in your world started in your imagination, and through your actions, through your continuous words on the topic, through the energy that you bring into your world, the energy that you accept into your world, these things were formed out of your imagination into manifestation. They became substance. And we must know that even if we had negative thoughts in the world and we have created a negative experience, we can always change. We can always look for something greater and wonderful, but it all starts in our imagination. What do you vision in your life? How do you see? If you're looking at your world and in your imagination as you observe the things in your world, it doesn't bring a smile to your face. you don't feel like you're living in paradise, then it means that you can use your imagination to bring in a new world. Remember that the biggest and the greatest nation is imagination. The biggest nation is imagination. So let's connect with our dreams. Let's connect with our consciousness. Let's connect with our good. And as we do, we are living in paradise. As we do, we know that we are manifesting our dreams. We are bringing substance. It is coming from our imagination into something tangible, into something that we can hold and hug and kiss and enjoy every day of our life. Fist in the air, affirm with me, my dreams have substance now. My good has substance now. I always feel like I live in paradise. Smile when you say that. See your world as a beautiful utopia, as a beautiful paradise, because it started in your mind, and you will not rest until it is manifested in your world, in everyone, every place, and everything in your world. One more time, fist in the air. I always feel like I live in paradise. Amen. How wonderful is that? Friends, I want to thank you for visiting us here today at blackdiamondworldwide.org. I want to remind you to follow, like, share, and comment on our Black Diamond Worldwide outreach pages on both Facebook and Instagram. Please share our quotes that we post throughout the week just to keep ourselves and the people in our world encouraged. Remember to share and invite people so that we can create and sustain this wonderful positive energy in the world. And I know that as you do every day and in every way, wherever you go, whoever you meet, you can say, today, each and everything, each and every person is with me, and we live in paradise. I love you. Be blessed.